Welcome back to another season of Discovery Phase 2 Gold Farm video. In this one, I'm going to be showing you a really good steady farm to do. Now for this farm, you do want skinning. Before we get into it, I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone that has gotten a copy of my Season of Discovery Gold Guide. It really means a lot. So where this farm is located is over in Badlands at these two different locations. Now the mobs that we're going to be farming are around level 40 to 43 and they're very easy to farm. We're going to be farming them for the small flame sacks and the dark whelping. The small flame sacks have a 16% drop chance from these mobs. You also will want to have skinning to make a bit of extra steady gold on top of this farm. Also, when you're doing this, you could have mining. There's a few mining nodes that do pop up. There are a few really big ticket items that you have a chance of getting, but these are RNG. The gloves of the Holy Might are the Holy Grail item. There's also a bunch of other blue BOEs and green BOEs that you can get from doing this farm. So there's a lot of BOEs that you have a chance at getting when doing this farm. They're all around level 40, so they're some of the best BOEs we can get in phase 2 at the moment. So these are the mobs that you're going to be farming, the whelps. And there is a bunch of these spawned out throughout this whole location. There are going to be a lot of them, so you won't have pretty much any downtime. Even if there's some competition, you just want to be running around the location that I showed at the start of the video. By the time you do a lap, they're going to have already respawned. They do respawn very quickly, making this a really good farm to do. The small flame sacks have a 16% drop chance from these, and that is going to be the main money maker, or the main steady gold that you're going to get from here. But obviously the skinning materials will add up very quickly also. When you're doing this farm, I would recommend having a mount. For one main reason is that there is a little bit of travel time in between the mobs, and to speed that up, it's really good to actually have a mount and you can just cruise around in between all of the mobs a lot quicker, obviously making you a lot more gold. If you're doing this on a mage, make sure that you're using your fire ward. As you can see, we just got a small flame sack. Now these are going anywhere from 50 silver to around 1 gold at the moment on my specific realm, but there's other prices on every single realm. So before you go ahead and do this farm, I would recommend searching up the price of the small flame sacks on your realm and seeing if they're a decent price. If they're above 50 silver minimum, that is really good and you can come do it. If they're closer to 1 gold or above, then I would highly recommend coming here and doing this farm, because you're going to get a bunch of these small flame sacks whilst doing this farm. Small flame sacks are used in a few new crafts in the professions that we have unlocked in phase 2. That is why the price of these have went up so much, and they're actually in really high demand at the moment, and they sell extremely quickly up on the auction house. So you shouldn't have any trouble selling these off once you farm these. On top of that, this is a contested zone, so if you're on a PvP server, there could be some PvP here. I did this for a few hours and I didn't actually have any PvP. I did see some PvP around me, but personally I didn't get into any PvP like battles or anything like that, and it was pretty easy to farm it. There was only like one other person that was actually farming the whelps, and he stayed for like 10 minutes. And then there's a few other people running around just doing mining and also killing the odd whelping when they are doing the mining if the whelps actually aggro them. Other than that, there wasn't much competition whatsoever, so I was actually making a lot of gold per hour whilst doing this farm, which is really good. They also have a few items that you can just straight up vendor for a decent amount of gold. But obviously the majority of the gold is going to be coming from the small flame sacks and also from those skinning materials. Like I mentioned before though, if you get lucky enough to get one of the epic BOEs from here, especially them gloves are going for like ridiculous prices on my realm at the moment. Because we're so early into phase 2, the prices on them epic BOEs absolutely insane. I think the gloves of might were going for like, I think someone had them posted, but that is just posted for I think like 1,500 gold, but obviously that is like a very inflated price just because we're very early into phase 2. If you would like to learn more about making gold in Season of Discovery and all the best gold farms and methods of how to make gold, I recommend checking out my Season of Discovery Gold Guide, which will be the first link down below in the description box. This is constantly updated every single phase of Season of Discovery, and if you already own a copy, you get all future updates completely for free. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.